Duffy. Squeaky cat. The squeaky cat has arrived. Yes. Hello and welcome back to another day of Vlogmas. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for clicking on my video. Today on the video I'm going to be making a festive wreath. Or should I say decorating. The wreath is already made and I'm going to be making it more festive. Right now it's just green and shedding. Something I didn't think about when I got this wreath is that a Christmas tree can hold onto its needles a bit longer after it's been cut because you're watering it all the time. With a wreath made of real greenery, you're not doing that because there's nothing to water, so it just sheds and sheds and sheds endlessly. Duffy, what is your deal? I got this wreath from the same place where I got my Christmas tree, and I also have a few decorative elements that I happen to have around the house. I also have battery operated lights, which I thought might come in handy. Hey, so I can put these on the wreath and hang it on the door without needing a plug or without causing any sort of tripping hazard with a plug, a cord leading off the door and plugging into a wall. That sounds insane. Why would I do that? I also have this large crock pot full of pine cones, which, I mean, they're a bit crazy and enormous, but maybe that could be fun. It's stabbing me. Thought we were friends. It's already going so well. Pom-poms, googly eyes. I need a vision. What's my vision? Silver bells, silver bells. It's Christmas time in my living room. How much will I need? Oh, this is already cut off, so I'll use this. No real method here. Tuck in the extra bits. This is getting messier and messier. Whee! Oh, this is not good. So as I mentioned, I got this wreath from the same place where I got my Christmas tree this year, which was a very fun shopping experience. Last year, if you recall, if you watched my video of me buying a tree, it was my very first tree buying experience. Obviously I had a tree growing up, but my parents always bought that. When I lived in England, we had a Christmas tree as well, but my landlord bought that for me because he had previously told me that I could plant a garden in the front yard, and then I came home from work one day and he had paved over the front yard. So no garden for me, and I was upset, and to make up for it, he bought us a Christmas tree, which was very nice. Last year was the first year I finally got around to buying my own Christmas tree. So I picked a tree lot called Fiesta Gardens, which is the garden center of a fancy grocery store called Fiesta Farms. I've never been to Fiesta Farms. I just know that my friend Piper likes to shop there for fancy occasions, like Christmas. And it was the only one that I could find online that was near my house. Basically, this was a very fancy tree lot where the lot is full of trees and they're hanging, which is unique because normally they're like leaning up against something or they're wrapped up, but basically they have them hanging so that the leaves, the branches are always settled, that they're never bent up. That way you know what they're going to look like when they're fully set up in your house. This process must increase the cost of the trees tenfold. I ended up with a beautiful fir tree that I loved, and I spent money on it, and I brought it home and I set it up, and everything was great, and actually it was very hard to set up, I'm not gonna lie. I got very frustrated trying to get it into a tree stand all by myself, and I screamed so loud out of frustration that my basement neighbor, I live on the second floor of a house, my neighbor from the basement of the house heard me scream, came outside, rang the doorbell. I went down to answer it, and she was like, "Are you dying?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "I heard you screaming." So I had to apologize for that, obviously, but also good to know that if anything horrible ever happens to us in our apartment, our basement neighbors can hear us. The tree was hard to put up, but I got it up eventually and decorated it and enjoyed it. But then I was talking to people about trees, and I found out that most trees cost a considerable amount less than what I paid for my tree last year. I paid about $90 for my Christmas tree. That included them like wrapping it up in mesh and plastic after I bought it, which I thought was standard. I didn't realize that was going to add to the price. It added to the price. And I think I also donated to charity, maybe by accident while I was checking out. Regardless, that cost added up, and I paid about $90 for the tree. And then through chatting with other friends who had trees, I found out that most people pay like $30 for a tree or something. Anyway, this year I got a much cheaper tree, which is just as nice, maybe nicer. I can't even remember what last year's tree looked like, to be honest with you. This one was $20. $20, and it's the perfect size for our little living room, and I love it. And I also was able to buy this wreath because I saved so much money. This wreath was $15. They had a giant wreath that was probably like, I don't know, this big. 3 times as big as the one that I bought. And I said, excuse me, how much is this wreath? And the guy said, oh, that's $25. And I was like, oh, okay. And I guess I looked not interested because that's a lot of money for a wreath. Now that I know how much stuff costs. And then he said, oh, but the regular sized wreaths are cheaper. And I thought to myself, what is a regular sized wreath? What size is that? How do we know what is regular? And turns out this is a regular size wreath, and it was $15. So I spent a total of $35 at this tree lot, which was in the patio section of a Second Cup coffee shop. Not as fancy as a like organic grocery store nursery garden thing. So yes, this year the Christmas tree was much more affordable, and I'm not ashamed to tell people how much I spent. Last year I didn't tell anybody for a long time until I found it funny. I forgot I have bells. I'm going to add bells too. Now I prefer real Christmas trees because I've always had one. We've never had a fake Christmas tree. I remember when I was growing up, I asked my parents if we could have a fake Christmas tree. I don't know why I wanted a fake Christmas tree, but I asked if we could have one. But my parents said, no, we can't have a fake tree. And I was like, but we could even buy like a tree smelling air freshener so it would still smell like there's a real tree. And my mom, I remember clearly, my mom was like, great, so we can have fake everything. Fake tree smell. Why would we do that when we could just have real things? I know a lot of people like fake trees. Some people think it's more environmentally friendly because you're not cutting down a tree. But actually, tree farms are very cool because they're often on land that can't be used to grow anything else. Plus, fake trees don't often look that great after going in and out of storage multiple times, and they don't last forever, so they do eventually have to get thrown away, and they take a long time to decompose in a landfill, whereas a real tree obviously will decompose at a normal organic rate of speed. I have no problem cutting down a tree at Christmas time to decorate my house because I feel like I appreciate the tree, I give it a lot of love, I give it a lot of attention. It's all over my Instagram. It's in the background of all my videos. I also enjoy watching my cats interact with the real tree. My roommate's cat likes to sit under the tree and drink the water from the tree stand. And my cat sometimes just likes to hide underneath it. I don't have scissors, so I'm going to cut this ribbon with a pair of pliers. Is that weird? Did it. I feel like I've lost the ability to attach stuff. I was doing so well until just now. What can I use for a nose? How about this piece of wood? This can also be arms. He needs a hat. Oh, red hat. Oh, again, with no scissors. Okay. How about a cone hat? How do you make a cone? How do you make a cone? Like that. Nailed it. It's terrible. This is a terrible cone. Is he an elf? Maybe he's an elf. Okay, I'm done. I have attached the snowman, and I added a pine cone, and I'm done. Ta-da! Well, that was fun. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making this wreath, and I'm going to go now and find somewhere to hang it up. Make sure you watch again tomorrow because I'm having another video, and guess what? It's also Christmas themed. Bye! So much stuff. Only one injury, which is pretty good for a crafting session.